you looking to learn more about your spiritual journey? Are you on a healing journey? Have you tried conventional ways of healing but didn't get the results you desired? If so, this podcast is for you. My name is Reverend Dr. Jackie Cope, and I'm a metaphysical minister, intuitive guide, and teacher. Here at Raven Rabbit, we believe that your ancestors, spiritual guides, and divine self are ready and eager to help you heal and prosper. We approach life, healing, and happiness through a holistic, indigenous spiritual lens to create the lives we want. Join me to radically change your life today. Hello, and welcome to episode 62 of the Raven Rabbit Wellness Studio podcast. I'm your host, Reverend Dr. Jackie Cope, and I am so glad that you are here. You are so special, so unique, and you deserve to be here and to have this conversation because it is going to radically change your life and pull you to your soul pull and on your spiritual path. Okay? If you're just joining me, if this is the first episode you've ever hit play to, I highly recommend you go back to episode 58 because we have been doing a series since then. We are tackling our rooted framework path, being on the rooted path. Because here at Raven Rabbit, we believe in an indigenous approach to spirituality. Okay, and we want to get rooted in that spirituality and rooted in our true self. And in order to do that, we have some things to do. And I have gone over each letter of the word rooted and what it means. And it is something that has to go in order. Okay? So R for rooted was regulate, which was all about stabilizing you. O, observe, and it reveals things to you. O, we need to orient, so we have direction. Tend is a time to heal. And today, episode 62 is E, all about embodiment. We have to embody. And this is where everything becomes real. This is where spirituality stops being an internal processing and becomes very visible in your choices, your boundaries, your tone, your leadership, and most importantly, your daily life. Embodiment is integration in motion. So I am so glad that you're here. Let's do a quick invocation. God, Source, Universe, thank you for bringing us together in this conversation. No matter where anyone is at in their path, this is exactly where they are supposed to be. This is the moment. This is the message. I believe in having many different entry points into spirituality, and there is no one finite path. So if you're here and this is your first podcast, you're exactly where you're supposed to be. We are going to learn about embodiment today. So, Source, just make that expansive in our hearts and be willing to listen and learn so that we can embody our true highest self. And so it is. So, I want to tell a little bit about my affirmation path because to me, affirmations is where embodiment lives. Okay. And there was a time when I started my affirmation work back in my early 30s, when I did my University of Metaphysics, where affirmations just felt impossible because they were a lie at the time. I was having to tell myself things like, I love myself. I love you. I love me. And man, it felt like lying. It felt just so fake and unreachable and unattainable. I hated it. I was like, how could I be saying this? Like, I don't love myself. This is like the furthest thing from the truth. So if you're using affirmations in that way, chances are they're not going to work. We have to do some background work to make them work, which I lay out throughout my whole rooted framework. I had to start somewhere smaller. And I had done all of my metaphysics works. I had done all of the bachelor coursework with all of the many, many affirmations. There's a ton of them. And even after doing that, I was like, I got to take it back. And once I at least was trained on how affirmations should look and what they should be like, I've been able to write my own. And I write all my affirmations now for the courses in in my Raven Rabbit courses. So if you take my courses, you are getting custom, very purposely written affirmations from me. And I started with I am safe and exactly where I'm supposed to be. I had to just take it all the way back. I am safe and I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. And then I said that at certain times. Mainly, I said it when I got up out of my bed, like I was in my bed. Very safe place to be. Exactly where I want to be, where I'm at right now. I would say it in times like when I was in the family with my car going somewhere, like, oh, I'm safe. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. We're going to go have this experience. It's great. I'd say it in bed at night. I'd say it in my living room watching my kids play. I would say it when we were out to dinner or eating dinner. I am safe and I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. Once I started practicing it in a real way where I wasn't lying and gaslighting myself, affirmations became real. I was truly embodying that. And I graduated from there. And now I use all sorts of affirmations. And if I have an affirmation that's too out of reach because it's more of a manifestation, like, ooh, I'd really like that. I work my way, I have my goal affirmation in mind, but then I work my way backwards to an affirmation, like doing a little step up plan, my step up plan into the affirmation that I'm dreaming of. So I had to train my body to find proof. And you don't have to force belief. I didn't have to like force the belief that I loved myself because I didn't. I had to find evidence. I had to locate moments where statements were true. And I held on to those moments, like the moments I was safe. The moments that I did love myself, like when I really do love my productivity and creativity. So if I made beautiful earrings, I would be like, wow, I made those. I turned them very much into an I thing. So I could reflect back like, yeah, I love the earrings, but I made them. I'm creative and I love my creativity. So I had to start training myself to love the real things about me that I already do love. That way, on the general synopsis of the whole big thing, I could say, I love myself, and I could say it and I don't have to be worried about it. So I let my nervous system register safety with my affirmations. And I let my body soften inside with the affirmations. And that is embodiment. Affirmations do not work when they just stay in your mind. They work when your body experiences them. You embody safety first. Safety made self love possible for me. Safety can make everything possible for you. If you feel safe, if you feel regulated, becoming a millionaire feels safe. Becoming a business owner feels safe. Going after your career dreams feels safe. But again, I'm going to refer you back. Go back to regulation. Once I knew I could be safe, I gave myself permission to trust myself. Real self trust. Not pretend confidence, not spiritual bypassing trust, actual trust in my own decisions. And that was a huge turning point for me. So, what actually is embodiment? Many people do understand themselves to an extent, remember, because a lot of people identify with false things about themselves, false narratives. Okay, but when we get all past that stuff and you do understand yourself, few people live what they understand. Okay, and this is where we get into the warnings and stuff of like a lot of spiritual people in the online community will preach all of these things but not actually live it because they'll be very aware like, okay, I know all these things about myself. Okay, you might be really far along in your spiritual healing journey, but are you embodying it? So embodiment means acting from alignment even when it feels uncomfortable. So when we had to orient ourselves and we had to find the alignment, are you sticking true to that alignment and those values even when it feels uncomfortable? So if you know your values are what they are, something comes along, it violates like two of those. Oh, sorry, no. Different example. Something comes along, it fully aligns all four, all whatever values you have. I have four, and it aligns with all four. But there's something about it that makes you uncomfortable because maybe it's a scary leap. For me, my example is my business. All four things are in alignment when I talk about running my business. But guess what? I had to leave the classroom to do that. That was uncomfortable. So are you acting from alignment, even when it's uncomfortable like that? Are you able to hold your boundaries without collapsing who you are? Because you might have somebody in your life that's always like, that doesn't matter, I'm going to do this anyways. I could call you past 8, it's me, it's fine. I used to have a boundary of don't call me past 8. I probably pretty much still have that. I just don't have as many people calling me anymore. But even with working, like when it's 8 o'clock, I'm done. My boundary is 8. I'm so done. I need to watch TV. I need to spend time with my husband. I need to have some dessert. I need to read a book. I need to do me time at 8. Like that's a boundary. Okay. But that used to get collapsed a lot by my ex family. Phone calls, interruptions. Like they didn't care about that stuff. So are you able to hold your boundaries without collapsing? Can you make decisions from your values, like I was just talking about, instead of the validation you might receive if you ignore your values? And embodiment is repeating new behaviors long enough for your identity to shift. Because maybe you could do it for a week or two, but can you continue for a month, 2 months, 6 months, a year? And again, like with everything I've explained, embodiment is not about perfection. Embodiment is about congruence. Confidence is not built through affirmation because you can't affirm yourself into a life that you want when you're gaslighting yourself. It's built through action, through small steps. That's when you're going to build confidence. That's when you're going to build self-trust. That's when you're truly going to be embodying things that are real. So, like with all of our things, we have an embodiment audit. Okay. Again, we have to return to the high heart for your embodiment audit. If you've not listened to me before, every single one of these in Rooted has an audit. So we could go through and truly check. We do our audit through the high heart. Your shoulders soften. You breathe slower. Take a deep breath. You bring your attention above the heart to your high heart. You connect with your higher self. And if you so choose, your spirit guides. You have an intention for this audit. I am willing to see where I am aligned and where I am not. And then I want you to ask yourself, where am I out of alignment in my behavior? Sit with that. Do you have avoidance, overgiving, overworking, not speaking truth, saying yes when you mean to say no, hiding your gifts? Big one. Big one in the spiritual community. Are you hiding your gifts? Are you not resting? There's no shame when we're just naming what might be out of alignment, only clarity. Then I want you to ask yourself, what old pattern is influencing this behavior? When you were tending to yourself and something popped up in that 10, like what needed to be tended to in that audit? Is that old pattern influencing your behavior here? Like I overwork because I equate productivity with worth. So what old pattern is showing up for you? Overworking, not putting yourself first, not filling your own cup. Your awareness is going to restore power back to yourself. Then I want you to ask, what would alignment look like in action? Make it behavioral this time, though. Not like, oh, I would feel more confident. I want your alignment and action to be, you know what? I'm going to send that email. You know what? I'm going to say no to that. You know what? I'm going to rest tonight. You know what that would be? I'm going to raise my rate. You know what that would be if I took action? It would be me speaking clearly. Embodiment is specific. What is one small aligned action I can take within 24 hours? So if you're making these big declarations, like for me, I want to um, publish my oracle cards. That's a big declaration. And if I have no action with that, I'm going to weaken my self trust because I'm never doing anything to make it happen. I have to do small aligned actions to build that nervous system safety. Okay. So if I took small aligned action within the next 24 hours to work towards my oracle deck card completion, maybe it's writing out one card description. That's actionable. I want you to close your audit with I choose congruence, or I choose alignment over approval, or I'm capable of acting in integrity. So your audits are really big. Okay, you're going to learn so much about yourself. I highly suggest you take these podcast episodes with Rooted. You can pause them, you can redo them, and you can work your way through your audits. If not, I'm compiling all of these together. You'll be able to purchase them in a course bundle and be able to do this thing with everything all living in one place and with worksheets to help you out. Okay, and there's also many tools you can use to start your rooted path. And so for embodiment today, we're going to talk about two tools to help you. The first one is, how do you want to be today? So every morning, or even right now, I want you to ask yourself, how do I want to be today? Not what you need to accomplish, like, oh, I need to pay this bill, I need to send that email. Not how do I need to perform, just how do you want to be? What do you want to feel? Do you want to feel calm, clear, direct, soft, decisive, rested, present, loved? What is it that you want to feel today? How do you want to be today? Then ask, how would that version of me, if I'm being the person who is, let's see here, I'm thinking of an example. If I'm going to be the person who is calm today, how would that version of me move today? What would their posture be like? What tone would they use in their voice? What kind of pace would they have throughout their day? How would their decision making look? Your body trains your mind. Okay. So if I wanted to feel calm today, I wanted to embody calmness, my posture is going to be relaxed. The tone of my voice is going to be, I think of the word serene, loving. Ooh, I even get a smell with it. I smell like lavender. Maybe I should put lavender essential oils on, because that person who's calm, that's what they're going to smell like. How are they going to make decisions when it's like time to do the dishes or get the kids to do something or do homework or get computer work done? How are they going to make those decisions? Oh, well, if they're calm, they're not going to stress about all the things. They just know everything's going to get done, and it's going to get done in divine time. That's how their body's going to move, with divine time. That is identity rehearsal. If you're rehearsing it in your mind in the morning and you play it out, you're more likely to achieve that. I love the studies where they've done studies on like major sports players who they envision, this is where visualization comes in. They're on the free throw line in basketball and they envision themselves making that shot every single time. And it amps up their ability to actually make that happen because they visualize it. They visualize the play beforehand, how it's going to go, how they're going to feel, what steps they're going to take. Same thing for you in your life. Even though you might not be a pro athlete, okay, you can use that tool to rehearse your life, to rehearse your identity. I'm somebody who's calm. I'm going to embody calmness today. How am I going to be? I'm going to be a person who uh, is clear. I'm going to be such a clear person today. What does that look like? How does my body move? Another scent just popped up to me for clear. Some reason my nose I don't know what clairvoyance that is, but that clair is online today and it is saying lemon. I must use my lemon essential oil for clearness. Okay, and this is the other thing with identity. I'm always working with the identity of that I'm spiritual. I am connected to my clairs. And right now, I'm even living through one right now where it's like you're going to listen to your intuition. And you're going to share this information as it comes to you. Okay, so like I'm really getting in an essential oil smell clair today. I can't remember the clair for your nose. But I identify as a spiritual person, and guess what? It's gonna pop up. I might identify and I might rehearse it, what it'll look like, what it'll sound like. But then life happens too, and you get my possibilities are so open. Like I told you in the last podcast. Once we tend to things that need to be tended to, your choice is just wide and huge. You get to evolve even more. Okay, I get sidetracked. I was just having a moment. It was a spiritual moment in real time with you guys on this podcast. And it's just amazing. Like when my clairs open up, and you can have the same experience too. Another tool for this is so you did a morning check in. Well, I want you to do a nightly congruence check. So as you're getting ready before bed, like maybe in your shower or your face cleaning routine or your turning down your covers. Where did I live in alignment today? So I want you to think about that. Where did I live in alignment today? For me today, it's like I'm being calm and I'm resting because I'm not doing so well. That's an alignment for me today. It was really good that I listened to my body and I rested. Where did I abandon myself today? Well, for me right now, recording this podcast, my day isn't through. I really feel like I don't have an answer for that right now because it's not the end of the day, but I got more of the day to live. We'll see. But I want you to ask yourself, where did I abandon myself today? This is not about shame. Remember, when you do these things, it is just information. It's just data. I want you to affirm the alignment. That's when affirmations work. Like I told you, I rested today. It is safe to rest. I was safe while I rested. Resting restores my body. These are affirmations I can make off of the alignment that I actually lived. I'm not gaslighting myself. I'm not lying to myself. I am telling the truth. So most people obsess over where they failed. Embodiment grows, so we will reinforce where we succeeded. This is how you expand from safety into self-love and true self-embodiment. You find where something's already true, you amplify it, and you repeat it. And slowly your identity will shift. Okay, so embodiment will feel uncomfortable at first. The nervous system equates a new behavior as danger because remember your nervous system's going to come online and be like, "Oh, this is new. Something's happening." Discomfort does not automatically mean misalignment though. When those little buzzers start coming online, those little like, "Oh, this is new. Something's arising in me." You need to go through the process. Observe it. Orient around your values, tend to anything that may come up if something does come up, and then we're going to embody our truth and what we want to be. And this is going to be growth. Alignment feels steady but vulnerable, and fear feels chaotic and urgent. And there's a difference. This distinction alone will change your life. So, embodiment is devotion in motion. It's not about being spiritual, it's about being integrated. When you embody your alignment, your self-trust solidifies. Others respect you differently because you're putting new codes out into your creator field. I didn't even touch creator field with embodiment. Oh, huge miss. We're going to have to do that in the course to this because that is a huge, important piece. Others will respect you differently when you're embodying your true higher self. Your decisions will simplify because of this, and your life will stabilize. If you're interested in feeling those things, I encourage you to go through the rooted process, work on E, and start truly embodying for your alignment. You can work with me one-on-one. You can head over to my website, ravenrabbit.com, work with me one-on-one. I'm building a suite of courses on my website. I've just been in huge creator mode lately, and I'm so excited for all of them. So when you have embodiment, this is where leadership emerges naturally. You do not need to become someone else. You need to live what you already know in your body and in your high self and in your soul. Embody it, prove it to yourself, one aligned action at a time. So thank you for listening to this episode. We are getting near the end of this rooted framework. We have one letter left, D, devote. And I am so excited to dive into that with you. We're coming to the conclusion of this framework. If you want to reach out to me, ask any questions, maybe we need to have a talk about one of your questions, please let me know. I am always here. Please get on my email subscription list so you can always keep in touch with me and hear what's going on here over at Raven Rabbit. Thank you for being a listener, and I love you. Thank you for listening. Expand the life, healing, and happiness of others in your field by sharing this episode. You can get more of my content and other helpful tips by following Raven Rabbit LLC on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Be sure to comment on Spotify and answer the episode's question so I can keep creating content you love and desire. Thank you so much.